The Conservatoire de Paris is a college of music and dance founded in 1795, now situated in the avenue Jean Jaurès in the 19th arrondissement of Paris, France. The Conservatoire offers instruction in music, dance, and drama, drawing on the traditions of the French school. In 1946 it was split in two, one part for acting, theatre and drama, known as the Conservatoire National Supérieur d'Art Dramatique, and the other for music and dance, known as the Conservatoire National Supérieur de Musique et de Danse de Paris. Today the conservatories operate under the auspices of the Ministry of Culture and Communication. History. École Royale de Chant. On 3 December 1783, Papillon de la Ferté, intendant of the Menus Plaisirs du Roi, proposed that Nicolas Piccini should be appointed director of a future École Royale de Chant. The school was instituted by a decree of 3 January 1784 and opened on 1 April with the composer François-Joseph Gossec as the provisional director. Piccini refused the directorship, but did join the faculty as a professor of singing. The new school was located in buildings adjacent to the Hôtel des Menus Plaisirs at the junction of the Rue Bergère and the Rue du Faubourg Poissonnière. In June, a class in dramatic declamation was added, and the name was modified to École Royale de Chant et de Déclamation. Institut National de Musique. In 1792, Bernard Sarraut created the École Gratuite de la Garde Nationale, which in the following year became the Institut National de Musique. The latter was also installed in the facilities of the former Menus Plaisirs on the Rue Bergère and was responsible for the training of musicians for the National Guard bands, which were in great demand for the enormous, popular outdoor gatherings put on by the revolutionary government after the Reign of Terror. Founding of the Conservatoire. On 3 August 1795, the government combined the École Royale with the Institut National de Musique, creating the Conservatoire de Musique under the direction of Sarraut. The combined organization remained in the facilities on the Rue Bergère. The first 351 pupils commenced the studies in October 1796. By 1800, the staff of the conservatory included some of the most important names in music in Paris, including, besides Gossec, the composers Luigi Cherubini, Jean-François Lesueur, Etienne Méacut and Pierre-Alexandre Moncini, as well as the violinists Pierre Bailot, Rodolphe Kreutzer and Pierre Rode. Salle des Concerts du Conservatoire. A concert hall, designed by the architect François-Jacques Delannoy, was inaugurated on 7 July 1811. The hall, which still exists today, was in the shape of a U. It held an audience of 1055. The acoustics were generally regarded as superb. The French composer and conductor Antoine Elwit described it as the Stradivarius of concert halls. In 1828, François Habeneck, a professor of violin and head of the Conservatory's orchestra, founded the Société des Concerts du Conservatoire. The society held concerts in the hall almost continuously until 1945, when it moved to the Théâtre des Champs-Élysées. The French composer Hector Berlioz premiered his Symphonie Fantastique in the Conservatory's hall on 5 December 1830 with an orchestra of more than 100 players. Library. The original library was created by Sarraut in 1801. After the construction of the concert hall, the library moved to a large room above the entrance vestibule. In the 1830s, Berlioz became a part-time curator in the conservatory library and was the librarian from 1852 until his death in 1869, but never held a teaching position. He was succeeded as librarian by Félicien David. Bourbon Restoration. Sarratt was dismissed on 28 December 1814 after the Bourbon Restoration, but was reinstated on 26 May 1815, after Napoleon's return to power during the 100 Days. However, after Napoleon's fall, Sarratt was finally compelled to retire on 17 November. The school was closed in the first 2 years of the Bourbon Restoration, during the reign of Louis XVIII, but reopened in April 1816 as the École Royale de Musique, with François-Louis Pern as its director. In 1819, François Benoist was appointed professor of organ. Probably the best-known director in the 19th century was Luigi Cherubini, who took over on 1 April 1822 and remained in charge until 8 February 1842. Cherubini maintained high standards and his staff included teachers, such as François-Joseph Acutias, Habeneck, Frementel Halevi, Lissua, Ferdinando Paer, and Anton Riker. Cherubini was succeeded by Daniel François Esprit Auber in 1842. Under Auber, composition teachers included Adolphe Adam Halevi, and Ambroise Thomas. Piano teachers Louise Farrance, Henry Hertz, and Antoine François Marmontel. Violin teachers Jean Delphin Allard and Charles Dancla, and cello teachers Pierre Chevillard and Auguste Franchomme. In 1852, Camille Urso, who studied with Lambert Masset, became the first female student to win a prize on violin. Instrument Museum. The Conservatory Instrument Museum, founded in 1861, was formed from the instrument collection of Louis Clapperson. The French music historian Gustave Chouquet became the curator of the museum in 1871 and did much to expand and upgrade the collection. Franco-Prussian War and the Third Republic. In the Franco-Prussian War, during the Siege of Paris, the conservatory was used as a hospital. On 13 May 1871, the day after Auber's death, the leaders of the Paris Commune appointed Francisco Salvador Daniel as the director. However, Daniel was shot and killed 10 days later by the troops of the French army. He was replaced by Ambroise Thomas, who remained in the post until 1896. Thomas's rather conservative directorship was vigorously criticized by many of the students, notably Claude Debussy. During this period, C.E. Acute-Sar Frank was ostensibly the organ teacher, but was actually giving classes in composition. His classes were attended by several students who were later to become important composers, including Ernest Chausson, Guy Roparts, Guillaume Lequeux, Charles Bordes, and Vincent Tindy. Théodore Dubois succeeded Thomas after the latter's death in 1896. Professors included Charles-Marie Widor, Gabriel Fauré, and Charles Lenape for composition, Alexandre Guillemont for organ, Paul Tafnel for flute, and Louis Acute-Méa for piano. Gabriel Fauré-Lenape had been expected to succeed Dubois as director, but after the affaire Ravel in 1905, Ravel's teacher Gabriel Fauré became director. Le Courrier Musical wrote, Gabriel Fauré is an independent thinker, that is to say, there is much we can expect from him, and it is with joy that we welcome his nomination. Fauré appointed forward-thinking representatives to the governing council, loosened restrictions on repertoire, and added conducting and music history to the courses of study. Widor's composition students during this period included Darius Milhaud, Arthur Honegger, and Germain Taillefer. Other students included Lily Boulanger and Nadia Boulanger. New to the staff were Alfred Cortot for piano and Eugene Gigout for organ. The modern era, the conservatory moved to facilities at 14 Rue de Madrid in 1911. Henry Ribot succeeded Fauré in 1920 and served until 1941. Notable students were Olivier Messiaen, Jean Longley, and Johan Alain. Staff included Ducasse and Jean-Roger Ducasse for composition, Marcel Dupré for organ, Marcel Moyes for flute, and Claire Croizer for singing. Claude Delvincourt was director from 1941 until his tragic death in an automobile accident in 1954. Delvincourt was a progressive administrator, adding classes in harpsichord, saxophone, percussion, and the Ons Martineau. Staff included Milhaud for composition and Messiaen for analysis and aesthetics. In 1946, the dramatic arts were transferred to a separate institution. Delvincourt was succeeded by Dupré in 1954, Raymond Lucia in 1956, Raymond Gallois-Montbrun in 1962, Marc Blouze in 1984, and Alain Louvière in 1986. Plans to move the Conservatory of Music and Dance to more modern facilities in the Parc de la Villette were initiated, under Blouze and completed under Louvière. It opened as part of the Cité de la Musique in September 1990. Currently, the conservatories train more than 1,200 students in structured programs, with 350 professors in 9 departments. CNSAD. The Conservatoire National Supérieur d'Art Dramatique is the conservatory for acting, drama and theatre, known by its acronym CNSAD. It is located in the original historic building of the Conservatoire de Paris on the Rue du Conservatoire at Rue Saint-Cécile in the 9th arrondissement of Paris. Free public performances by students at the CNSAD are given frequently in the Conservatoire's theatre. CNSMDP. The Conservatoire National Supérieur de Musique et de Danse de Paris is a separate conservatory for music and dance. The French government built its new campus in the 19th arrondissement of Paris. It was designed by Christian de Portzamparc. The organ on site was built in 1991 by the Austrian Rieger Orgelbau firm. It has 53 stops on 3 manuals and pedals. Faculty. Students. A listing of former students can be found at List of former students of the Conservatoire de Paris. Former teachers. A listing of former teachers can be found at List of former teachers at the Conservatoire de Paris.